The day Karen threw up that god-awful fence across my driveway. I swear I saw red. It wasn't just a fence, it was a middle finger to me, my house, and my sanity. I'd just pulled into our quiet little cul-de-sac in Springvale, expecting to park my beat-up Tacoma like always. When I saw it, a rickety, unpainted wooden monstrosity slapped right across my driveway, complete with a neon yellow sign screaming, "No parking. HO Rule number 47. Violation in Karen's unmistakable chicken scratch handwriting." Springvale's the kind of place where kids ride bikes in the street and folks wave at you from their porches. It's not perfect, but it's home two-story colonials, manicured lawns, and a homeowners association run by Karen, the self-appointed queen of petty tyranny. Me, I'm Jake, 32 single, and just trying to keep my head down while fixing up the old house I inherited from my grandpa. My neighbors, Tom and Lisa, are solid. Tom's a retired mechanic who loves his whiskey, and Lisa's a nurse who's always got a story about some ER drama. Then there's Karen, 50-something, with her bleach blonde bob and a clipboard she wields like a scepter. She's the HOA president, and she's had it out for me since I moved in. Probably because my lawn's a little patchy and I don't bow to her every whim. It started small. Karen would leave passive-aggressive notes on my mailbox about my trash cans being visible or my truck being too commercial for the neighborhood. I ignored her, figuring she'd get bored. Big mistake. She escalated, citing fake HOA rules, fining me for nonsense like unapproved mailbox color. I'd laugh it off, but the fence, that was war. I stormed over to her McMansion across the street, where she was watering her begonias like some suburban dictator. "Karen, what the hell's this about?" I jabbed a finger at the fence. She smirked, not even looking up. "Jake, your truck's an eyesore, and you parked an inch over the line last week. HOA rules are clear." I blinked. "An inch. You blocked my driveway over an inch." She shrugged, spritzing her flowers. "Rules are rules." "Hun." I wanted to scream, but Tom, sipping a Bud Light on his porch, caught my eye and shook his head. Like, "Don't do it, man." I took a breath and walked away, already plotting. The thing is, Karen's fence wasn't just ugly. It was illegal. I knew something she didn't. My grandpa's property wasn't just the house. It included a weird little strip of land running under half the cul-de-sac, including the ground beneath Karen's house. He'd bought it decades ago in some quirky deal with the developer, and I'd never thought much of it until now. I dug through his old files in the attic, heart pounding as I found the yellowed deed. Sure enough, I owned a sliver of land under Karen's precious palace. My brain lit up like a 4th of July sparkler. This wasn't just revenge, it was poetic justice. I spent the next week playing nice, acting defeated while I worked the phones. I called a buddy who's a real estate lawyer, got the deed verified, and found a developer sniffing around for cheap land to flip. The strip wasn't worth much on its own, but it was enough to screw Karen over. I met the developer, a guy named Mike, at a diner. "You're selling the ground under someone's house?" he asked, eyebrows up. "Yep," I said, sliding him the deed. "All legal. No strings. 10 grand, it's yours." He grinned like a kid at Christmas and cut me a check. Meanwhile, Karen kept strutting around, gloating about her fence, even hosting an HOA meeting to discuss community standards. Lisa texted me during it. She's bragging about teaching you a lesson. I just smiled and waited. The climax hit on a muggy Thursday evening. I'd tipped off Tom and Lisa to grab some popcorn and watch the show. The developer's crew rolled in with a surveyor, staking out the land under Karen's house. I stood in my driveway, deed in hand, as Karen stormed out, her face redder than her prized azaleas. "What's this nonsense?" she screeched, pointing at the surveyor's flags. I held up the deed, calm as a summer breeze. "Karen, you built your house on my land. Well, my former land. I sold it this morning." Her jaw dropped, and for once, she was speechless. The surveyor chimed in. "Ma'am, this plot's been transferred. You'll need to negotiate with the new owner." Mike, the developer, strolled up. All business. "Ms. Karen, we can work out a lease, but it'll cost you. Or I can start digging." Tom snorted from his lawn, and Lisa hid a laugh behind her hand. Karen's eyes darted between us, realizing she'd been outplayed. That stupid fence, still blocking my driveway, looked like a monument to her own arrogance. The twist: I'd donated half the sale money to a local charity for community gardens. So every time Karen drove by one, she'd remember this moment. The fallout was glorious. Karen had to pay Mike a hefty annual lease to keep her house standing. Or she'd face a legal nightmare. The HOA board, fed up with her antics, voted her out a month later. I tore down that fence myself, with Tom handing me a cold one as we laughed about it. My driveway's never looked better. Karen avoids me now, her clipboard nowhere in sight. The neighborhood's quieter, too, turns out. Most folks were just scared of her. Lisa started a betting pool on how long it'd take Karen to move, and I'm tempted to join in. Revenge doesn't always feel this good, but when it's this sweet, you savor every second. If you're dealing with your own HOA tyrant, don't just take it. Get creative. Check your paperwork and hit 'em where it hurts. You might just win the cul-de-sac. The end.